Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have some new review. And for this review, this is an iPhone 10 and how does it hold up after 6 years in 2023? Let's find out. So another old iPhone review, but actually this is my brother's phone, so I couldn't use it for a long time. But after 1 week using this iPhone, this is my review and conclusion using this phone in 2023. Let's go! So let's go to its design. This generation was the redesign of the iPhone that we're familiar with. A glass and stainless steel sandwich and a notch. This redesign was a big jump from iPhone because we're used to a bezel iPhone, then jumping to a bezel screen with a notch. And of course the notch became a meme, but it changed the iPhone design. But this design feels premium even today, and I do love it. I know this is a minor detail, but I really appreciate the transition between the back glass and the stainless steel frame, like it's so smooth. The iPhone 10 has two colors, space gray and silver, which I have. This is a perfect size phone by today's standard, and I really do love it. This is like a iPhone 8 size for me because of my big hand. I have an iPhone 6 with a case on, and I refuse that this iPhone was almost the same size as the iPhone 10, as you can see, because of the case. Apparently, this iPhone has a dent and a deep scratch on the corner, so it seems like this iPhone has a history of being dropped. But the back glass did survive. Hey guys, welcome back to chat today. So by that, always use a case to protect your phone when dropped. So let's go to its display. This has a 5.8-inch Super Retina OLED display that has 625 nits brightness with True Tone and 3D Touch. Again, this is the redesigned iPhone with a new screen that we're familiar with. At that time, this screen was unbelievable because of the bezel-less look. Mostly at the thin chin that removed the Touch ID button and replaced with a swipe gesture. We still have the OG notch that contains the camera and Face ID hardware. We will look at that later. Actually, I couldn't review this iPhone screen because when I bought this iPhone, the screen has been replaced, but with OLED. It still has almost the same experience as the original screen, but there's no True Tone option. I'm impressed at the repair because it still has the Face ID, and you need a programming device to retrieve the original serial number from the original screen to the new screen or the replaced screen. But this OLED screen is still great quality, it is sharp, color accurate, and bright, like the original. So let's go to its performance. This iPhone runs with an A11 Bionic chip and a 3GB of RAM. Even though this is a 6-year-old phone, I'm still impressed with the performance. From navigating the interface, using the internet, and scrolling through social medias, it is still alright. Sometimes it can be laggy to load apps, pages, etc. One of the biggest problems I've encountered using this iPhone was its heating up really badly. Like just scroll to social medias, this phone starts to get warm. And the problem gets worse when gaming. I tried playing heavy games on this iPhone like Call of Duty Mobile, it can still handle and playable. It even has very high graphics and frame rates. You can still encounter some lags and frame drop, but it's still playable. But again, the nightmare starts. After one deathmatch game, the iPhone was hot to touch. Then playing many rounds later, this iPhone was really hot to touch, like you can cook on it. Just kidding. Then the stainless steel frame and front and back glass makes the iPhone really uncomfortable to touch because it was overheating. It seems like I'm overreacting, but this is the reality. On the software, this is running the latest version it can run, iOS 16.5. So this has the latest software except right now. As I filmed this video, the iOS 17 released last week, so this makes the iPhone 10 discontinued this June because it doesn't support iOS 17, but still has the latest features that iOS 16 offers. But I realized that some major iOS 16 features like live text and live subject were not supported on the iPhone 10. So let's go to its battery, which is the biggest meme and problem of the iPhone. It has a 2760 mAh battery that can charge up to 15 watts wired and 7.5 watts wireless charging. So this is the second biggest problem I've encountered using this iPhone. This originally has the original battery that it came with and it has 78% battery health. So by that, it lasts me up to 3 to 4 hours on continuous usage, and charging it 3 to 4 times depends on my usage. Then I replaced the original battery with a Yubao advanced battery. That's sponsor! And it was great! It lasts me 5 to 6 hours on continuous usage, and charging it 1 to 2 times depends on my usage. So it was big upgrade when you change its original battery, and it does charge quickly with 15 watts. But again, when buying an older iPhone, I really recommend to replace its original battery because it can have a lower battery health or service indicator, like this iPhone. So let's go to its camera, which has a dual 12 megapixel camera on the back. The main camera has 12 megapixel f1.8 aperture, and the telephoto has 12 megapixel f2.2 aperture camera. Both of them has OIS and supports up to 4K at 30 FPS video. Then on the front, it's a 7 megapixel f2.2 aperture selfie camera that supports up to 1080p at 30 FPS video. Even though this 6-year-old iPhone, I'm still impressed with the camera performance. Of course, expected from an iPhone. I'm gonna show you some photos that I've taken with this iPhone camera. The thing I love about iPhone image processing was it looks natural, sharp, has great colors, and detailed. It is not oversaturated or lacking in something. It's just alright, not too bad, and not too awesome. But sometimes the dynamic range was not great even in daylight. And then when it comes to low light, this is where this iPhone lacks. This doesn't have night mode, so the images look darker, noisy, washed out, and harder to focus. The selfie on the other hand, it is still great and can compete with some selfie cameras today. It looks natural, sharp, and has good colors. This iPhone has portrait mode, which is the second generation at that time. But when using it today, it was not great. It was not great masking out bokeh and the images look washed out even in great lighting. The back video on the other hand, it is still alright and the same as I mentioned earlier, even at decent lighting, there's no much noise on it. And it has OS, so there's no shake. I think that has a shake. And the selfie video. Again, same as I mentioned earlier, but even at decent lighting, there's still a noise on it, so you need some good lighting. So to its features, this has 3D touch, IP67 water and dust resistant. Don't trust the IP rating on older phones because it may be opened before, so it does break the seal. Animoji and Memoji, wireless charging, portrait mode, and Face ID. This is the first iPhone to have Face ID, but even today, it is still quick and responsive. Even you're in daylight or nighttime, you can use the Face ID to unlock the phone, Apple Pay, some security, and more. So conclusion, should you get this iPhone 10 in 2023? For me is yes. This iPhone is still usable in 2023 and can get your job done or even more than that. Yes, it does show its age today, but the whole phone performance is still acceptable today, even the camera. And you can still play heavy games on this iPhone. Just note that it does get really hot. For me, this iPhone was much better than some newer budget phones at the same price. If you want a budget iPhone that still looks good today, this is a good option. Just note that this iPhone software doesn't support iOS 17, so if that's important to you, get a newer model like iPhone XS or higher. Also remember that find a good condition iPhone that doesn't have issues or many issues and replace its original battery. So that's my conclusion and review of this iPhone 10. This phone was great and I wish this was my phone. I do love using this and I'm impressed of its performance and software support. So this is my review using this iPhone 10 in 2023. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell when I post a video. Also this video when you like this review of the iPhone 10. So goodbye and see you at my next video. Bye bye!